the official stripes of going against the grain. Promark.
Hey, welcome back to the Drum Rundown. It's Jarrad James. We're here at Marathon Music Works in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm here with Blake from Between the Buried and Me. What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Thanks for having us. We were joking before, we're a little short on time, so this rundown might actually be shorter than a BTBAM song.
Yeah.
So we're going to get right into it, man. Talk to me about this Tama Star Classic.
Oh, boy. Okay, so this is a built from the ground up, kind of custom-ish Tama Star Classic, all maple drum kit. And one thing I get asked about a lot is definitely the finish on it. And so the backstory on the finish is that it originally originated from a guitar that Tosin Abasi had when he was originally with Ibanez. And he posted, I don't know if it was like a signature model that he did or just a one-off thing, but I remember him posting about it. And I was like, dude, the finish on that guitar looks sick. And so Tama and Ibanez are under the same kind of corporate umbrella, I guess. So I think they share the same art shop for both the drums and guitars. So I texted him. I was like, dude, do you think they have that, whatever color code that is for that gray guitar that you had at the Ibanez shop? He's like, yeah, I'm sure they do. It's like, and then furthermore, I was like, if they did, would you mind if I like use that color for a drum kit? He was like, dude, you should totally do that. So I was like, yeah, man. And then they ended up having that color in the art shop, and talked to my Sam over at Tama, and he was like, yeah, that's gonna look cool, and just did an easy gloss finish, and it's cool because it's very like, it's kind of, it's a monotone gray, very agreeable gray.
Yeah.
As you can see.
It's super clean. It's super awesome. So Animals fans, tell us in the comments if you know Tosin's color code, because I'm sure there's somebody in there knows.
We couldn't find the name of the actual like title of it. Like some people call it like Nintendo Gray, but I think originally he had gotten it from, because he's like a car guy too, and he had gotten it from some model Porsche or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense with
I don't know
Tosin
which one.
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Porsches, this kind of looks like a really slick Porsche from back here, because I love these hazy heads. Talk to me about what you got on this.
It's kind of cool. It's so Remo makes really cool. I typically use Emperors for everything, but they make kind of these color sort of coded heads. In these, they just have like a cool smoky gray that they offer that's pretty sweet. They sound pretty much the same. They just it's just aesthetics. They look cool, but Remo sound awesome. So I'm just doing Remo Emperors on the tops, and then Remo Ambassadors on the bottom.
And shell construction, do you know how many ply?
No.
Okay.
That's a good question.
All right. We'll get in there. We'll put it in the comments.
Yeah. Somebody out there knows.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so tom sizes, run me around.
So these are pretty short toms, and I kind of like to go with that configuration because it's easier for me to. I don't sit too high, but also don't sit too low either. I'm kind of like in the middle, but I like to be able to play kind of over the toms. And kind of like to sit on top of everything, so I kind of keep my toms a little shorter.
Okay.
I believe it's 8x6, 8x6.5, and then 12x7, and then 4 toms are just normal. It's like 14x12 and then 16x14 or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're playing a little bit of a shorter profile.
I like it. It's like you can kind of they have a quick attack and kind of play through them a little bit. It's pretty sweet.
And I know you play with ergonomics. I've heard you say before that you like to kind of switch up where things sit to kind of keep you from getting into ruts and habits and grooves.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you doing on this tour? Anything different with the configuration of this kit to kind of keep you on your toes?
This big bad boy right here is pretty different. And then sometimes I'll have like a side floor tom here, so I strip that. But yeah, like the core, as long as I have the core element, which is usually like 2 or 3 up top and then 1 or 2 down, I'm good with that. But other than that, I do like to switch things over. Like within the past year, I've added this guy as well. It's just a ride that is, I essentially just use for the bell. That's it. So that's kind of like, that's definitely set some kind of cool creative options.
So when you're writing in that process and you kind of get to a new thing to get out of your rut, does that become the road setup for that next run?
It kind of does, yeah. Like
cool.
I usually pick some sort of configuration for each like tour and album cycle. So it's cool. It keeps it new, it keeps it fresh. It's like it kind of resets your creative vocabulary, I guess, so to speak.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about the new edition, because I heard it in soundcheck, and it's like my favorite drum sound ever. Because huge Phil Collins fan, and you hit it, and I was just like, "Yep, that's it."
I mean,
so talk to me about these Roland pads.
The only thing I'm running them with is just that typical like 80s tom sound. Yeah, but it's cool.
It just sounded like the Simmons, the 7, like the classic.
That's what
Phil
it
Collins.
is.
I was just like, dude, that's awesome, especially in context of like what you guys play to add that.
Yeah, and a big reason why I did it on this tour is because like one of the songs that we're playing actually does involve them. So I'm doing some parts where it incorporates me playing like the acoustic kit, but those at the same time. So it's a real stupid, obnoxious way to mount them. Yeah. But to be fair, it's the only way that I can kind of pull it off. Because like in normal circumstances, I would just put them over here because you could be like, do your thing, but there's section where I'm like throwing down a backbeat, but also playing this like in conjunction with that. So it's kind of, that's the only way it's stupid and it's so boomer and it's like, it's dumb, but it's fun.
It's awesome. No, it's super fun. The hardware setup. So what is the hardware rack, and then what hardware are you rocking here?
Yeah, it's all Tama Hardware, Tama pedals, Dyna Sync pedals, and then the rack is just a standard, like their standard Tama rack that they offer. I think I cut down like the main pegs like that hold them up just so they're not like towering over everything. But yeah, that's it. It's all all
cool.
Tama
And
stuff.
you're using all Tama stuff on the kick pedals. I know you got the classic Iron Cobra and then the Dyna Syncs.
Yeah, the Dyna Syncs are cool, man. They're like, I think it's the only direct drive pedal that Tama does, but it's cool. I set them up kind of traditionally, like they're pretty loose. But it's cool because it's like they still feel like a normal pedal, but you get that like instantaneous torque.
We've been starting to get some like two camps starting to separate here with like the direct drive and the chain drive. So you're going to be team direct drive.
But I'm kind of like in the middle. Like if I needed to, I could still play, the Iron Cobra, just regular chains or whatever.
Yeah. All right.
But there's just certain things you can do with a direct drive that just like certain pedal movements and stuff.
2 bass drums instead of
I love it. It's awesome. It looks cool and it's fun to play. Yeah. It's just like you get like a little bit better feedback, I feel like, or reaction time as well by having 2 kick drums.
Do you have everything tuned the same? Do you tune them a little off?
So with the kicks, I'm actually triggering those, believe it or not. And what's cool is the way that we have them triggered and the samples that we're using, it's very kind of organic sounding, because with the module that I'm using is a 2-box Drumit 3. And what's cool is you can build your own custom kick drum sounds, so they're not all taken from like a one-shot sample where it's like if I were to hit the kick really softly, it would sound like a normal kick drum, but just at a low volume. Mm-hmm. This way you can set it so that it's kind of velocity responsive. So it's like a soft kick hit will sound like a soft kick drum, and then a harder kick hit will actually sound like you like laying into it. So that's kind of what I feel like they're sort of the only module that offers that. So that's exactly what I wanted. So what's cool is you can kind of like tune the head in a way that's more conducive to your playing style. If you like to tune it a little higher, but you still want like a normal kick drum sound, it's the easy way to get away with it. Cool. That's cool.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. And the snare drum, what are we rocking here?
This is the Tama Bell Brass reissue that I think they put out like I don't know, five years ago or something like that. I'm done snare shopping. Like this is
the one.
Yeah, it's like
all right.
I'm not gonna get any more. Like you can't really get better than this. And then I upgraded it with some cast bronze hoops with this dude. I forget his name, but it's Cherry Hill Drums. I think out of Southern California. He makes cast bronze hoops for these snares. Well, I think you can use it for any like kind of tin lug or basic snare drum. But yeah, it just you get that extra crack.
It's not triple flanged. What is that?
It's a super high high profile. So it was weird getting used to because it's usually like the stock ones are a little bit more low profile. So it's weird. It almost feels like you're playing like a
lot of rim shots.
Yeah. It's like eating through sticks, like super easy. But it sounds awesome.
All right, and what's your head on there?
That's just what's the Powerstroke P77.
Okay.
And it's great, dude. You don't really like. What's cool about it is it's kind of like an internal muffle ring, so you don't really have to do much dampening after the fact. Like you can just kind of set it and go. Like you don't have to really worry about it. And we use that for the studio too.
Yeah, I love the center dot, the support in the middle too.
They're awesome.
What's on the bottom for the
I think this one we just have like a ambassador snare side, so nothing too crazy.
Cool. And I know we're short on time, so we'll just run around the cymbals real quick. What do we got going?
Yeah. Let's see what we got. Let's start with right here. We're doing the HHX complex hats. I think they're 14-inch.
Yep.
They sound great. Got a good chick. This is the 17-inch HHX Extreme. Love that. This is the one I was talking about earlier. This is like the prototype that Sabian made. It's literally like it's a mega bell ride, but cut down to 17 inches because I wanted something that was like not a bell, but like I didn't want a bell sound. I wanted a ride bell sound specifically, but I didn't want something that like took up too much real estate. So I had them like cut that down to like a 17-inch. It's cool. It's got that typical like big bell sort of sound. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Evolution Splash, little guy, he's cute. This is a stack that is, what's this guy?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I know.
10-inch,
10-inch mini Holy China underneath HH Duo Splash. Sounds cool.
Did you pair those together, or did those come?
I did. I was just kind of I was just doing some
like that's everything with stacks these days. Everybody's playing with different stuff, and
I'm constantly changing those too. Like you can change those around a lot.
Yeah, and in terms of your ethos of like changing stuff, like how often do you change your stacks?
Usually like every kind of like tour cycle or something like that. Just depending on what kind of sound I'm going for. But these have been really convenient because they're real cutting and they're not. They don't take up that much real estate, so it's like really easy to set up. This guy is another weird prototype thing. It's basically like a big bell version of a raw bell dry ride that Sabian makes. It's got more of that like Vinnie Paul Pantera sound, like ride bell sound. This stack it's a just bigger version of that because I like having the duality of like two different stack sounds. It kind of adds a cool dynamic to it, which you can kind of do rhythmically between those two. This is just a 14-inch Evolution China underneath Max Stacks Crash, which I don't know if they even make those anymore. And then just an 18-inch Legacy Crash and a Holy China, 19-inch Holy China.
Cool. And what kind of sticks are you using?
I'm using the Vic Firth Freestyle 5Bs.
All right.
They're your traditional 5B, but they're just a little bit longer because I got like T-Rex arms, so they're not very long. So this gives me just like a little reach. But they're good, man. I used to use the 55A Freestyles, but I've kind of like I wanted just some a little bit more beefier. These work great.
Awesome.
They're awesome.
What are you doing for your monitor workflow?
We're on the whole like Behringer ecosystem, so it's like super easy. Like I don't really do, so it's all in-ears, no floor wedges or anything like that. And as far as my mix goes, it's not that great. It's basically the entire band except for me. I have kick drums in there, and that's about it.
Don't want to hear yourself.
Because if I do that, like everything, I'm sitting right here on top of the drums anyways, and I get enough bleed from it just through the in-ears and stuff that it's enough for me. And if I start putting, because it's tempting, like it sounds really cool when you can put toms and stuff in your mix, but if I start doing that, then it's just gonna kind of add a competition as far as like sound goes, and I'll have to like start turning other things up, and it's easier for me just to not have drums in it and then just have the rest of the band. It's like it makes things simpler.
Yeah, and are you guys doing stage volume?
So they have cabs, and then I believe Dan is running direct. Okay. So it's still pretty simple.
So you're getting a nice.
I get some stage bleed, so it still feels like I'm playing a show.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
It sounds great. I can't wait to see you play. The last time I saw you was at Radio City Music Hall.
Damn.
Do you remember that show?
Was that Coheed?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I remember that.
Destroyed.
That was awesome.
So it's been a minute since I've seen you play, but I'm excited to see you in this room.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Well, thanks for giving us a run around the kit, man. Have a great show.
Will do. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks again. Jarrad James with the Drum Rundown. We're here with Blake from Between the Buried and Me. We'll see you on the next one.